Hi, Christiana. You've been speaking on mute.
My God. So sorry. I was talking to myself. I didn't know. Okay, so wow. So annoying. Sorry. So I was saying like want to do a brief of recap on what we've been doing. So we started with introduction to Excel, where we got to know the use of Excel and its importance in our daily activities now. We got to understand Excel's interface. We learned about workbook and worksheets. We learned about columns and rows. We learned about cells. When we said cell are intersection of rows and column, and we say easy identification of our columns are alphabeticals and the numerals are our rows. So we did creating and saving workbooks. We said workbooks are like a sheet. What am I saying? Sorry. Workbook comprises of worksheets, and worksheets is a page in a workbook. Yeah, we did basic data entry. The same way we have all of this information in this data set. We did a bit of entering data sets and we did basic editing. Then we worked with formatting where we used this pane under our home tab. We used this for formatting where we did like background fill, text fill, bold, increase size, like that, like that. Yeah. Then we did, okay, we also used this for formatting too. Yeah, did that. So we did basic calculation using some average count. It won't, time would not allow us to go back. So, like I said already, we have the videos and you can go over them and get familiar. So yeah, after that, our second class, we did basic arithmetic operations. Yeah, using using the traditional method, using our plus, minus, asterisk, and division. Then we did introduction to Excel functions and implementation because we were introduced to it and we used it. Then I think there was an assignment. Yeah, but I can't remember how many people are submitted. So we used our basic sum to replicate the traditional method of addition. We did average, we did minimum, maximum products. All of that has been explained. So we did flash filling and auto filling, more like that's more like an easy approach to populating your data sets when it comes to some particular data type, like some for numerals and some text. In the means that like I did let's say I am adding now, I'm using my sum and I want to fill a whole lot of rows. I can just autofill like double clicking a particular space in my cell box and it will fill it up for me. So that is it. That is it. So we also did creating templates and freezing. Oh, I'm not supposed to record this. All right, we also did creating templates and freezing. That is creating templates, a pattern, replicating a pattern in another work as simple as that. Then freezing, we said it is like, okay, I want to be on cell, let me say Y100. I want to be on cell Y100, but then I want to see column A, irrespective of the location I'm at. Maybe I'm at XYZ 1, 2, 3, like that. But I want to see every row, every input of column A. So that was reason. Then we did logical function where we got to use functions like count, count A, ifs, sum if, like that, like that. So jumping to our last class, okay, then we did lookups. But yeah, we said we would still visit lookup because I think the day we did our lookup, network was really fluctuating and we had like 3 breaks. So yeah, we said we'll get back to that maybe at the end or before the end of this course. So for last class, we did sorting and filtering, types of sorting and types of filtering, the uses and its importance in analysis. And we did validation also, where we said validation is just like restricting um, our record to a particular data type, to a particular length, to a particular information we want, like that. So today, yeah, we'll be doing pivot tables, charts and graph, and conditional formatting. But we'll start with what do we start with? Let's see. Yeah, we start with conditional formatting. So class has started. Welcome to class. Let me see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So conditional formatting, it's more like one thing about Excel is it's more like it uses English. Yeah, it uses English, though with some technicalities, but it uses majorly English. Like I said this before, like when I call on sum, it does only the function of sum. And when I call on let me say count, yes, the only function it does is just to count. So the same way when I say conditional formatting, this what it means in English, formatting something based on a condition. That is what it means. So when I call on a particular function, its job is to do one only the function it has been called upon. So it's just like saying, come. I know when somebody tells me to come, I have to go and meet the person. And when I say eat, I know I want to eat. So that is just how these Excel functions work. So now talking about conditional formatting, it means like you want to format something based on a criteria or condition. Yeah, so let's dive into it. I said, yeah, it allows formatting based on a criteria. It also helps in identifying trends, outliers, patterns in a data set. Pattern in the sense that, okay, this thing happened here. It also happened in this place. It also happened in this, you get. So it helps us to recognize trends and patterns in a data set. It's also helps to identify outliers. Outliers in the sense that something that is way above or below our data sets range. Yeah. An example is, let's say I have quantity to be within the range of let me say 2 to 50. Then I'm having a particular column or a particular cell that's having 1,000. When I have my range to be 2 to 50, and I have a particular cell, yeah, a particular cell to be having a particular cell to be having, did I say 1,000? Yeah. And another one is having like minus 20. That means it is an error. So it is regarded as an outlier. So yeah, that's conditional formatting helps us identify that in our data set. So we have different types of conditional formatting. Before I even go to different types of conditional formatting, how do I activate conditional formatting? Let me expand this. How do I activate my conditional formatting? This is my home tab. For me, I just want to increase this. So I'm under home and I want to apply my conditional formatting. This, it is as simple. Home tab, conditional formatting, under styles. Yeah, under styles. So conditional formatting. So now, like I said, we have styles of conditional formatting. We have the highlight cell rules. That is, this one highlights cells based on some operators, and the operators includes greater than, less than, between. Maybe I want to see values that are greater than a particular value. I use this. I want to see values that are less than. I want to see values that are between or equal to. I want to see text that contains a particular alphabet. I want to see dates occurring, and I want to see the duplicate values. I make use of all of this. Anything that has to do with operators, I use this. So now for top bottom rows, that is another style. Like I want to see top 10 items. I want to see top 10%, bottom 10. Not only 10, I can actually want to see top 5. I would have to edit it to my preference. Then data bars. Data bars is just like gradients, filling the column. Or yeah, filling your columns. So we have gradient fill and we have solid fill. Gradient fill in the sense that it highlights from the left side, it is thicker. The color is usually thicker and it gets lighter towards the end. And solid fill in the sense that the color is it has the same texture, or it has the same, is it transparency? Yeah. Oh, sorry, texture. It has the same texture all through the cell. So now, okay, let me finish with this. Show you site examples. Then color scales. This one is used on a range. Everything are used on ranges too. So, but for this one, if you see, you would see like some places here. Please don't ignore this price. Ignore what is showing here. So now I have this. Look at all of this. It's showing like green, yellow, red, and like we know, it says green, yellow, red. Apply a color gradient to a range of cells. A color indicates where each value falls. So each cell value falls within that range. So now for For this one now, you can say green would identify our highest values, while yellow would identify the mid values, and red would identify the mid value. So we can also say it is green, yellow, red, max, mid, min, as in maximum, medium, minimum, or anything we can use to classify that we are conversant with. You can say highest, middle, lowest, like that. So our icon set is also like another representation of color skills, but this time in form of icons. Because this ones too, we also have you see, yellow, red, green. So green, yellow, red, in the sense that green highlights the highest, so it pinpoints the highest. Yellow identifies the middle values, and red identifies the least value. We would apply all of this though. So now let's say I want to make a particular rule, but then it is not among this. What I want to do is not among this. I go to new rule. Now I can either do format cells based on their values. I can also format only cells that contains, that is, I want to highlight cells that contain a particular record, or I want to select only top or bottom ranked values, or I want to select values that are above or below average, unique or duplicate values, or I want to use a formula to determine which cells to format. So it is when we want to use formulas to determine which cells to format that we majorly use this new formatting rule. So now I can click on it, I enter my formula, I go to my format, this thing should be back. So after selecting use a formula, I enter my formula, I go to my format and select the kind of format that I want. This is not responding, but it's supposed to pop up something like, okay, choose the color you want, choose fonts, like that, fonts, field, borders, and like that, how I want it to look like. Since I am using a particular condition that is not embedded in Excel, that is not embedded in Excel's conditional formatting, I want to customize my own formats. So that is what that would do. Now, let's go back to the beginning, conditional formatting. I want to format based on, what's the first step? Oh my God, this thing is hard. A minute, please. Okay, yeah, I think it's working now.
No
Okay,
problem.
so, yeah. So, like I said, I can format with fonts, I can format my border, I can format using fill, any of these colors. And I will click my OK, but then we're not doing anything yet, so I cancel it. Now let's go back to our conditional formats. Now I have quantity ordered. As a data analyst, it is my job to understand data. It is my job to understand a data set. Let's say I'm giving a data set to work on. I would not expect maybe HR or whoever gave it to me now, or the PM, to now start explaining to me like, okay, this is what this data is all about. It comprises of sales, and it has a list of maybe 2,000 customers, and the classifications there are maybe their height, their quantity of purchase, all of that like that. No, it is my own job to depict that from the data I was given. So now we are given this data sets, which is sales data sample now, sales data sample. From the name, I can depict that, okay, this is a record for sales. Yeah. Then going through it, I can say, okay, this is, it has order number, it has quantity ordered, it has the price, it has the line, it has sales, it has dates, status, like that. So I can actually tell that, okay, this particular data set is giving me sales record from a particular year to a particular year for every of their customers that came during that year. So this data set is giving me the records of activities that went on through this period of time based on my data sets. So yeah. Now, what do we want to do? We want to do conditional formatting. Yeah, I'm coming. So now I want to, what's the first one? I want to highlight cells that are greater than, okay, yeah, let's use quantity for that. So I would select where I want to use. Now I'm selecting the whole of my quantity ordered column. I go to my conditional formatting, and I want to select values that are greater than a particular number. Let me use greater than 20. Now, I can say light red fill with dark red text, or I can change the kind of format I want. Let's say I want to use green with dark green text. Then I click my OK. Even before I click my OK, we can see that it has already changed. Let's look at this. It's greater than 20, greater than 20, greater than 20. Okay, I think we have more of greater than 20. Let's try less than 20. Less than, yeah. Less than 20. Less than 20 now should fill with, oh,
There's no less than 20. I think 20 is the least.
20 the list. Okay, please, this meeting might go off in 10 minutes. In case it does, sorry, it would. If it does, actually, kindly connect using the same link. Thank you so much. Okay, we have items less than 20, but they are not very much. So let's just, clear the rule and use another condition. Let me clear. If I want to clear my rule, it is just below new rule. So clear rules from selected cells. I have my data set in its original form now. Now I want to perform a condition. Select my cells, go to conditional formatting. Now let's do greater than 35. Yeah. Now I have whatever is greater than 35 highlighted in red fill and red text, or light red fill and red fill. This greater than, less than, greater than, less than, greater than, less than. So that's how it works. Now, if I want to, maybe I want to now, okay, I want to see the ones that are below 30 in green. I can, the same way I did this, I would select all, go to my conditional formatting, go to highlight cells rules, less than 35 now. Less than 35, but I would have to fill it in another, maybe, what should I do? Green, yeah. Green, less than 35. This is supposed to be opposite. I'm supposed to use red for less than 35 and green for above 35. But let's leave it at this. But the main thing is for us to get the idea. So now, if I am saying green, I know it is less than 35. And if I am saying red, I know it is above 35. Yeah, so that is conditional formatting for less than and greater than. Yeah. So what's this? The same way we did all of this is the same way we would do for the rest of them. Now for top bottom rows, I want to say top 10 items. I didn't select anything. Go back. What can I use? Top 10 items. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me see if it will work with this. Let me select top 10 items. Yeah, like I said, I can see top anything I want to see. Did it work? No, it did not. And I think we can only use it with changing variables. Let me clear all of this. This is the cell we would use. Okay, no, yeah, before that, I can do for this now. Let's apply our color back. Icons. Yeah, let's use icons. If I do this now, I would see that where I'm having one, I have red icon. Where I am having two, I have yellow icon, and where I'm having 4, I have green icon. Sorry, 2 and 3 is using yellow icon because those are the middle values. 1 is the lowest and 4 is the highest. So the same way this was used, it's the same way I can use it here. It's the same way I can use it here. Just for us to have the ideas. So red, this one, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4 because it means quarter and I have 1, 2, 3, just 4 values inside it. So let me see this one. Okay, yeah, this one we have 1 to 12. Okay, let me now use color bars for this. Called data bars, sorry, and I want ingredients field. This one is more like how would I put it? More like, is it chart or graph now? The more weightier it is, the more the bars fill up. This one is very small because the value is just very small, and this one is filled because the value is, the highest now in this point, the highest, because we have just 1 to 12 as it represents months. We have just 1, 2, 3 to 12. So 12 has to be the highest and 1 has to be the lowest. For this one now, if I use icon bar, or what's it called now? Let me look at it. If I use this icon set, it will still replicate the green, red, yellow, whatever for me. Now, if I do this, you see 12 is having green. Where is it? 12. 12 is having green. 11 is having green. 9 is having green. Now, this one divided it into 4 because I have 12 and I have just 3 colors to represent what I want to represent. I have 12 values and I have 3 colors to represent. So divided into 3, 1 to 4 would have red, 1, then 5 to, is it 9 or 8 would have the yellow, and from there to 12 would have the green. In the sense that the reds are the lowest, yellow are the middle numbers, and green are the highest values. So that same way, let me look at what other thing we can use this for. Let's say this now. What can we do with this? Please, if you are not getting me, you can easily draw my attention back so that it does not pile up. If I'm not being very explanatory, you can call my attention and we'll try again to the best of our understanding.
I'm getting it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing justice to the presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome. So now for data bars. Okay, we use data bars already. Let me use color scale. Come here. Using color scales now. I can do, yeah, let me use it for this school. Color scale. And like I said, color scale is like a gradient, but it comprises of a range. Yeah, a range. Like if you look at this now, I am having green, yellow, and red. You see, it is like it is more like the gradient data bar. The gradient data bar. Let's see it again. It's more like gradient data bar. Where is it? Yeah, gradient data bars. Like, okay, from the left side, it is thicker, then it gets lighter and going to the right part. But this one now, instead of going from left to right, it's going from top to bottom. Now, this one, if I should scroll up, I would be seeing another green, red, yellow. Sorry, red, yellow, green from up to down. See? You see. So it's only showing me the gradients from a particular view. Now, my view is this, 1 to 22. Now, if I should go down, okay, now it showed me 1 to 27, yeah. So if I continue from 28 now to the next 27 counts, it would have to give me red, yellow, green. This one is just, I don't know how best I can explain this, but this is like showing the gradients, but in a column now, not in a row, in a column.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Thank you very much. So yeah, so that's for color bars. Is that color bars? Yeah, color scales. Sorry, color scales. So now, like we already talked about navigating our conditional formatting. We already talked about ways we can format, highlighting by cell rules, using the operators, highlighting by cell. We talked about that's where we used greater than, less than, between. Same way we use greater than and less than, same way we would use between, and the rest of it. We already did data bars, where we said it's highlights using gradient or solid fill. We talked about color scales, where we said it highlights rows and gradients, columns and gradients, yeah. Then we talked about icon sets, where it uses icons to depict from the highest to the least value. and we talked about, okay, I think that was, okay, we talked about the new rule and we talked about the clear rules. I did that because this meeting would end in less than a minute. So please, let's rejoin. Thank you.